In prehistoric Europe, the evidence tells us that for thousands of years, men and women got along cooperatively, and there was very little power differential between the genders. The first religious icons were generally female images, probably because of the miracle of birth. Then beginning in 3000 BC, tribes began warring with one another. Warfare spread like wildfire. And there was a new gender arrangement that was very good for warfare. The males accentuated being strong, smart, and out of touch with their feelings, so they could face gruesome warfare. And the women focused on rearing children and making life pleasurable enough for the warriors that they were willing to go out and fight. This arrangement continued for thousands of years, and eventually the most powerful warriors became the businessman and the scientist. Then the gender paradigm began to be challenged. On a deeper level, this was probably fueled by the knowledge that continuing on the path to war would mean we would blow ourselves up. Picture a mushroom cloud. So the rebellion began with women refusing to play the extreme nurturing role and trying out male behavior in dress. There was significant resistance to this change, but on some level, from the system's point of view, hey, we have more economic warriors. But when a few men began letting go of the male role, the system was threatened. And they were often beaten and ridiculed. All through history, there have been a few people who had lived between the genders. They were bridges. In many primal societies, these individuals were celebrated. Having a male child who was taking on like female roles was sort of like having a child today who was a great football quarterback or had an IQ of 200.
My son has been hanging out with the women, weaving baskets, and having dreams.
Truly, you have been blessed by the gods. Now stop bragging about it.
But in Western culture, these individuals were punished. In modern times, the desire to avoid gender ambiguity was so great that when babies were born without a clear gender, which happens about 1% of the time, doctors would simply operate and make the baby either a boy or a girl.
Show me a girl.
Ooh. This, like many of the other crazy habits of a world based on war and domination, is being questioned today. So sometimes you may find that you still have some of that old gender programming inside of you.
What a weirdo.
Well, instead of reacting that way, when you see somebody blurring gender boundaries, flash them the peace sign. For just like somebody who's a tree sitter or a homeless advocate, they are helping bring us back to a more peaceful and natural world.